Hey, True Believers, England Teen here, and I'm with LK, and I've got a collection to unbox. This is the infamous collection that got me in trouble when I thought I was going to get some money, and I bought it, and then it just messed a whole bunch. Oh, look, LK's boobs. All right, so anyway, I want to get into this because I think these books are pretty damn cool, and I got to tell you, I don't think any of them are going to be lower than $3, though. This is different kind of collection I bought. But here you go. I'm just going to show them off, and I hope you guys are excited about them. Of course, I'll talk about the issue itself and maybe what I was actually going for, like the first one. And I've got them. I put them from the ones that I thought was least cool to the one that is the most cool. And there you go. This one's probably going to end up being in the $2 series. But let me highlight me here.
Yep. Make yourself bigger there. So
yep. And I've got a Dark Hawk #2.
Oh,
there you
good
go.
Old Dark Hawk.
Yeah, and the reason why I've got a Dark Hawk #2 is because another issue that was being offered with it was #1. I lost that one though.
Yeah, and a future MCU character, right? Wink, wink.
Oh yes, of course. Ever since the Guardians of the Galaxy action figure set came out, when the Guardians of the Galaxy movie came out, they had a Dark Hawk action figure. So speculators have been just all over Dark Hawk. Now it's a joke. Yeah. Now they do it as a joke. Okay,
maybe it'll be volume 3.
This I think is pretty cool because I just think Bronze Age comics are pretty cool. This is Action Comics. It's issue number 438, and it's got Lois Lane attacking Superman.
Oh wow, that is low. I would have never guessed if there wasn't the bubble there. Especially with the long hair, because you don't see Lois, especially in that era with long hair like that.
And it's going to be in the $2 bin because I don't know if you can see it, but this is a little bit rolled.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see it on the other side or the top, because a lot of times if you have a rolled comic, you'll see it's off center, and you don't get that. But yes, indeed, there is a roll. So I decided, okay, this is going to go in the $2.
I'm guessing that Lois was bombarded by gamma rays, and that Clark did
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, that happened, and every time she's angry, she roids out. We're gonna
and just gotta quickly say, hey Jay, welcome Agu.
Howdy, what's up?
First time I've seen you here, so welcome. And Jim, and yes, hopefully Nerdy will be asleep when that one comes up.
Well, this is going to be some of the earlier stuff if they end up in 2s, and these are going to be some $3 books. One of them I literally got for the cover here. As Jason, love me some Bronze Age DC. I really do too. I like Bronze Age. I talked to Eric about this. I was like, you know what? I think the 80s. I think the 80s are my favorite time. But as I started doing videos and everything and doing origin stories, I gotta say the Bronze Age kicks all sorts of ass.
Yeah. I was gonna say, why don't you say, especially for anybody new here who's lurking, or anybody who watches this video in the next few days or so, you're gonna have an opportunity to own these comic books.
Exactly,
because comic book auction this coming Saturday night, right?
Yep, every Saturday night at 8 p.m. we have a comic book auction. I try to make it affordable. It's a budget auction, so our bids usually go from 50 cents up to $5, and then we have big dogs, the more expensive books, sets, and sometimes some trade paperbacks that might actually exceed that $5. But I really do try to keep the books between $1 and $5,
right?
At a start.
Yep, and that's 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central for folks like me, all the way down to 5 o'clock Pacific for
which is why I have a hell of a lot of people in Oregon and California bidding, because when we're at 1 o'clock and ending the bid, you guys are just hitting midnight or 11. All right, next up, and I want to find out, when did we start celebrating every 25 or 50 issues? Because this is Action Comics number 450, and it is the same size as a normal comic.
Well,
Right,
I'm not sure if our historian was here, he might be able to tell us, but it looks to me at least.
You know what? You know what? I used to pride myself on on being a bit of a comic book historian, and I did videos like that, and I've been doing more and more to get myself back in. I told everybody I got kind of punch drunk. You know, you do 12 hours of work on a video and only 40 people see it. It's like, yeah, why bother? But I just have so much fun doing all the research and everything. This is one of my favorite Action Comics covers from the Bronze Age. This is issue number 454, and it's finally good to see Superman have the same diet as I do. Yeah, I've always loved that cover. Yeah.
You've eaten enough already for an army, and he's just eating at super speed there, and
of course,
kind of looks like the Golden Arches, but I'm sure
it looks like the golden brass knuckles. I don't know what they're trying to do there, but I do wonder how many people do they have working in that small store. Because if you look all the way back, there's a line of, and by the way, obviously they only also hire women, and they must keep that uniform store in business. All righty. Well, but
I mean, remember that was a 1950s book, right?
Yeah. Well, no, this is 1970s.
1970s. Okay. Well, still, I mean, it still applies. I mean, you know, back then, you know, you had God, I don't know what you call them. I mean, we call them fast food restaurants now, but I mean, you know, especially, I couldn't tell, were they on roller skates or not?
I don't know, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. There was, no, they're not, but I know what you're talking about. It's like in Happy Days. We had them too, and there was a name for them, and it was different than just a fast food joint. Car hop. That's it. Yeah.
And they were pretty much exclusively women, but of course now the only place left that has them is basically Sonic. Hey, Eric Breen popped into the chat.
What's up? What's up, Eric? Jump on for a little bit. You've got 20 minutes or so before the next show. Here, let me share the invite, and you can jump on for a few minutes, and before you have to go to the fossils.
Yeah, but now if you want that experience, you got to go to Sonic, unless you've got some local place that's still trying to keep the tradition alive.
Yep, keeping the Superman aesthetic going. I've got DC Comics Presents number 37, and this is Superman teaming up with Hot Girl. She's so hot right now,
and it looks like a hawk snake or a hake or a squawk.
Now this is one more of those cases where I was like, oh, I want a whole bunch of these DC Presents, so I put bids on a whole ton of stuff, and ended up only getting 2. So, but the other one is one of my favorite. It is when Superman teams up with the Unknown Soldier. And by the way, we do get a Whatever Happened to the Sandman story.
Oh, interesting.
All righty. Next up, we're going to shift on over to Marvel. And this is Houston, Finch, and Miki. And these are some pretty awesome covers. And we have, here is Moon Knight, issue number 2.
Okay, so this is a more modern Moon Knight.
2006, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, Charlie Houston, there's a name I have not heard in a long time.
Well, here's issue number 4. And here is issue number 6. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the bloody variant, but this is still a pretty damn cool cover.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you've got some great David Finch art in there, too.
Yep. I was actually very happy to get this collection here. If I was just going by coolness, this collection would be at the end. But I was also trying to think, okay, how much would you put this on and how much would you put that on? I found out that I am way undervaluing these books, so I will be going through to see what's what. But here's issue number 10 of Star Wars.
And this is good Star Wars, kids.
Yeah, the 1978 Marvel run. And here is issue number 11.
You know, I think I had that issue 11 long time ago, because the cover just looks so familiar with Luke shooting at some aquatic snake.
Well, one thing I found out though, as I was looking through stuff, is as much as you may value the first few, the ones that really command the prices are the higher priced issue or the higher numbered issues. Here is issue number 38.
Very nice.
That is, I mean, look at the condition of this thing too. That is off the shelf. Okay, next up we have issue number 51. And it's newsstand. And here is issue number 52, which I think is awesome. It's got Millennium Falcon, Darth Vader, TIE Fighter. Hold on. I mean, this is iconic Star Wars imagery right here. All righty. And then we've got, I didn't even know this guy could fight Lando Calrissian. I thought he was basically a slave, but here's issue number 56.
Yeah.
What's his name? Cybok or whatever it was?
Something like that. Yeah, but
I'm sure somebody in the chat is just going, "Wait, Cybok? You mean Spock's brother?" I forgot his name. Low something. I don't know. You guys know better than I do.
Let's see. Well, there's Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, well, that I know.
Cover, but yeah, no, but it should be. It needs to be mentioned though. I mean, the books here in the 50s. I was just looking up. So David Michelini on scripts, Walt Simonson on pencils.
That's pretty cool. Here we have issue number 58. Lowbot, thank you. I thought that, yeah, at the end there I said it was low something, but yeah. There you go. Number 58. And we've got issue number 59. And then we've got issue number 64. And we have issue number 72. This run went to issue 108. But the last issue I got was issue number 90.
Let's see, by issue 90 here. Let's see, issue 90, you had Mary Jo Duffy on scripts and Bob McLeod on pencils. So I mean,
yeah, it actually says the cover's McLeod right there. He's McLeod from the Clan McLeod.
Yeah.
Okay. This was. I'm excited about these books. Anytime I get stuff like this, it just like, okay, that's really cool. That's really cool. I'm so happy. I do know there are some who are with me and dig this kind of thing. These are Bronze Age war comics, but they're from Charlton. So here we have, I don't know if I numbered these in order, but here's issue number 18. I love this thing. Just shoot. And he's like, give me the bazooka. I'll do it. All right. And this is our fighting forces in action, in attack. All right. And here is issue number 21 of that same series. And then we have attack number 22. I guess I did number. And we have attack number 27. And then we have Fighting Marines, and this is issue number 110. And then we have Fighting Marines, issue number 114. And then we have Fighting Marines, issue number 157. And Fighting Marines, issue number 160. Oh, yeah. You got to love the Nazi imagery on the Fighting Marines, especially if they're on fire.
Yeah.
And then also from Charlton, you have the Fighting 5. Unfortunately, not the issue of Fighting 5 that all of us want, but did you know that there is a special issue that everybody wants of Fighting 5?
No, I was not even aware of a book called Fighting 5, so tell me.
sometimes you get a first appearance of a character, like say Gru is in from Destroyer Duck. Nobody would, because he's not on it. It doesn't say anything about it. Nobody would think it.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting 5 that has the first appearance of the Peacemaker, and I think it's like in issue 5 or 6. So it's I on Old Man Comics, I actually did a comic book origins. So check that out. And from Apple Comics, we have the Vietnam Journal.
Interesting.
All righty.
Yeah. So yeah, Jim, you know, it's funny you mentioned that. I do remember those 3 packs, and I'm pretty sure they were sold like at Toys R Us, because it's probably where I got my Star Wars comics from back in the day. If you went through the aisles, the early aisles at Toys R Us, they would have, you know, these packages of, you know, books, you know, groups of 3 of, you know, sometimes Marvel, sometimes DC, you know, it's a grab bag. You could pick them up for, you know, like $2 or, you know, whatever it was. So in Rhaegar, yeah, just like your older cousin, I too had a bunch of Star Wars action figures in a Darth Vader case, and had the Millennium Falcon, and had the Death Star playset, which was one of the coolest playsets at the time. And then I got to my teenage years and said, hey, you know what? I need some money for a trip, so let me go and sell all this stuff at a garage sale. And boy, do I regret that now.
Yeah, never garage sell collector's items. Normies don't know what you got.
Which is why I have a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff that's gathering dust. Well, has been gathering dust and has more dust now after the move. And I need to actually still fix a bunch of figures.
All right, next up, I do believe this is Todd McFarlane, but we have the Incredible Hulk issue number 342.
Oh, nice. Let me see. I can verify that for you real quick here. That number sounds right, but let me double check.
That might not be, but anyway, cool Incredible Hulk, and here's issue number 343.
Let's see, 342 and 343. Well, interesting. I've got them in my wanted list, and it is, yep, Peter David on script and Todd McFarlane on art.
Which would be considered the high watermark of Incredible Hulk issues.
Yeah, doing both cover and interior. Next
up, we got the books. I thought, okay, will probably be around the $5 range. Of course, once again, I'm going to go through and make sure. This is just my guess. And what I think, and each one I figure is what is awesome to what is okay, or how you guys may perceive these.
Yeah.
As
well,
such.
And MK, you're welcome for the recommendation. Kaiju is an anime that is just loads of freaking fun, but it's actually a pretty good story. I think I've watched it a couple of times. So, you know, hopefully you enjoy it. And yeah, they're throwing that around, but I read another article that the Padres really weren't in it. It was really the Yankees and the Giants going for Aaron Judge. Yeah. I'm trying to get involved here, you know.
All right, next up, we've got Marvel Fanfare number 1.
Oh, wow, look at that. Is that supposed to be Sauron?
Yep.
Okay.
And the Angel was in it, and we have, and I swear I tried to get issue number 1 and 2 on this one. This is another one where I lost the number 1, but still, it is a cool comic. It is not a modern day comic, even though modern day has destroyed the character. In the 2000s, they treated her just right. Here's Ms. Marvel issue number 2.
And that is Focus. Yep, that's Brian Reed. So yeah, it's definitely a good, fun, interesting read.
Oh yeah, that 2000 series was fire. It really was. So this group is going to, I think they're having a video game and an animated series come along. This is Midnight Suns Darkhold, still in the polybag.
Yeah, well, with the video game, they're using the name Midnight Suns. I don't know how much of it actually is. I mean, I think like Ghost Rider's in it and stuff, but I know I saw something about, you know, speaking of, since you showed Ms. Marvel there, good old Captain Marvel shows up in the new Midnight Suns game, and as it says, hey, she's the most powerful person in the universe. So there you go.
Well, that's pure comic book fun.
Yeah.
This is I like this run.
And she looks like Captain Karen too. So
I like this run, by the way. And this is What If #1. What if the Avengers lost the Evolutionary War? It's issue #1 of the second big run of What If.
Mm-hmm.
There was a one-shot special released between that series and the original series. So technically, I kid you not, because there was a one-shot, this is considered volume 3. I never understood that, but there you go. Here we have a Daredevil from a time that a lot of people don't pay attention to. This is issue #125. There you go. And here is issue #1 to that Moon Knight run.
Oh, hey. I think I know a certain comic book frog that might be interested in that.
This is a 3-issue series, basically. I mean, this is what you need. Now, there are characters who are introduced that are just cultural icons. Obviously, you're like, you know what? Deadpool, not one of the originals, but wow, what an impact. Of course, Harley Quinn from the 80s. But from the 1970s, possibly the most important character of all time was introduced. And he was introduced in a small title, a small war title called All Out War, issue #1. And this is the first appearance of Viking Commando.
Hey now, we all know Viking Commando.
Yeah, and here's issue #2 and issue #3. So you can literally get the entire story of the Viking Commando, because I do believe that was it.
I think, you know, Dolph Lundgren played him right in that memorable movie trilogy in the
right, of course,
70s,
yeah,
early
yeah.
80s, right? Yeah.
Yeah. What if Iron Man was a traitor? Get it, and you have a complete set, says Eric. That is true facts. All righty. Let's see what is next in this what I say is the $5 run. We got a few more war books. Here is Captain Savage, issue #15.
Captain Savage. So is that supposed to be Doc Savage, but as a as a military?
I actually have no idea. To tell
man?
you the truth, I have no idea. Maybe I should focus on some more guys. But here is Star Spangled War Stories, issue #175, starring the Unknown Soldier. There you go. And one of the
Williams impression there.
One of the better what ifs, we have what if #27, what if the Phoenix had not died?
Then the universe would have died instead. End of story.
And issue #1, especially 1970 #1s, are always a lot of fun. Yep. Erica Boyd saying the Viking went commando and had a Thor butt because he didn't wear any skivvies. A Thor butt. Okay, I got it. I was like,
yeah,
what's okay? That was.
Yeah, the chat started going off the rails there a little bit.
That's pretty bad. But here is King Conan, issue #1.
Oh, very nice.
All righty. And I don't know actually where to put this. I put it in the $5 with my fingers crossed. But like I said, this might change because I'm going to go through eBay and check it out. This is issue 0 of Invincible. I got to tell you, I never really read Invincible. I saw the TV show and it was like, holy shit, I need to read Invincible. That was awesome.
Yeah, I read a few issues here and there. I never really got into it, especially because it kind of started up right at the tail end when I was kind of getting out of comics for a while. I've gone back and read a few issues here and there. I mean, obviously, it's great for a reason. I mean, the animated show was as well done and, I think as faithful to the comic as you're going to get from a Hollywood studio. And so I am definitely, I don't know when season 2 is supposed to happen. Hopefully sometime in 2023, but
I'll tell you what, another series that I watched that I just now like finished it. I watched I did like an 8-hour marathon of Paper Girls on Prime. It's a Brian K. Vaughan comic, and it turned out to be pretty darn good. All right, next up we have Action Comics issue number 552 with some awesome Gil Kane cover art. Or it looks like it. I know that's Eric's thing. Cave Carson, Con Gorilla, Suicide Squad, Animal Man, Rip Hunter, Immortal Man, Sea Devils, and Dolphin.
That's quite a lineup.
That really is. And you know what? I got to tell you, sometimes I love team pictures where it's like, oh, let's go stop that villain. And this is it. This is issue number 553. And you get all those characters.
Cool.
Yeah, that is a great freaking cover.
Yeah. Well, see, and I remember too, I mean, you know, back in the day, especially as a little kid, I mean, one of the things that would attract you to buying certain issues was if you got a ton of characters, you know, in a single book. You know, that's what made those JLA, JSA crossover issues so much fun. It's because like, oh, wow, not only am I getting, you know, like the dozen or so members of the JLA, but I'm getting all these other characters too. And so that was always a selling point.
There are some comics that I will always try to get if I can. This is issue number 457 of Action Comics. Now, this is a cover, you know, I'm not going to show it to you until I read I'll read the caption, and then you can see if you actually know the cover. Superman, my dying wish is to know your secret identity, and you say you're Clark Kent. It's a lie. And that's innocuous. I mean, it's nothing until you, even if you just take away the words and you show the cover image, it turns into something else.
Oh, that one.
Superman.
Oh, Timmy. Oh, Captain Sunshine. No.
What's going on here, Soups? You want to explain yourself? Because it looks like whatever you're about to do, the kid just is not in it.
Oh,
it is just not into it.
And too bad Eric had to leave to go to another stream. He would have had a few good comments on that classic cover.
So there are questions, and I understand the 70s, 60s, and so by the 70s they were actually writing real stories, and they were trying to make them. They were trying to make them mean something, have a little bit more depth, but still, there are unanswered questions. Like, after Superman takes a beating like this, how is Jonathan Kent even born? Nutshot, right in the strawberry bag.
Of the junk man. Getting him in the junk. So now we know why he was called the junk man, not because the machine was put together with a bunch of spare parts, but
because he gets knocked in the junk all the time. Right. Here is issue number 444 of Action Comics.
Dun, dun, dun.
There is always a Superman's a dick cover. Oh my gosh, Superman, you killed somebody. Oh my gosh, you hate fat people. You're not number one in our book anymore. We've got a new superhero in town, Wizard with a Golden Eye, and this is issue number 273 of Superman.
Not to be confused with the Wizard of the Brown Eye.
Oh, why did you do that? Why did I do that?
The pitch was just hanging there in midair, and I had to swing at it.
Now I just wonder about some sort of titles. Like we have this one, Superman is rushing to the window to go help somebody. He sees Crypto and it's like, this is a job for Superdog. But the caption, I kid you not, reads, by popular demand, Crypto returns. And who was that dog I saw you with last night? So who's the jealous one here? Is it Superman or is it Crypto?
I don't know, but speaking of Crypto, you saw the Super Pets movie, right?
Oh yeah. I had a great time with it.
Okay,
I think it's kind of fun. Yeah,
that's on the to-do list.
It's on HBO Max. It is enjoyable. as an adult. It would be just, pun intended, super fun for kids. It really is just that kind of movie. Do not go in thinking you're about to get freaking Alan Moore's Super Pets. Yeah, it's not going to be happening, guys.
I don't think I want Alan Moore's Super Pets. That sounds like a horrific comic.
I want it more than anything I've ever known, because now I really do want to see how he would do that. No, it really is. It's a kid's film. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. Me and Gail both enjoyed it. We were the only people in the theater. But hey, it made its money. It was actually profitable.
Yeah. The only thing that would be worse would be Super Pets by Tom King.
Just name a title. You don't even have to put a comic book in there. By Tom King. Okay, well,
would be dead by the end of that miniseries.
In the late 60s and 70s, these photo covers with the superhero there. This is the Phantom Horseman of Metropolis, and it is issue number 289. So you can see is in great condition.
And I got to say, ew, on that cover. That's not a trend that aged well.
No, the cameras weren't as good.
Yeah.
Now we have Superman number 290.
Okay.
There we go. And finally, another one where I tried to get issue number 1 and 2 together, and I only ended up with issue number 3. And that is Supergirl from the 1970s, which, by the way, this is still a pretty freaking cool book. Yeah. This is the Hot Pants Supergirl.
I was about to ask you if this is the era of Hot Pants.
Yes.
And also, too, that has a Zatanna side feature.
Yep. There you go. A nice Hot Pants Supergirl. All right. Let's keep this stuff going here. Now, I put this in $5. I don't know if everybody else will believe that, but there was a war comic from Marvel. It was called Sergeant Fury and His Howling Commandos. And in one of those issues, Captain America made his made an appearance, and this is the reprint of that. It's Marvel's special Marvel edition. Here you go.
No, nice. And hey, I was going to ask you, so what would you say the condition on that Supergirl number 3 is?
Let me check it out.
And you just might want to see what I'm typing in the private chat.
Dun, dun. All right. Holy shiitake mushrooms! Are you kidding me?
No.
Wow. See, that's why I'm saying this was my first assessment.
Yeah.
And you can tell I know nothing.
Yeah.
And I know nothing.
If I were truly a horrible person, I would have said, hey, you know what? That looks great for the 50-cent bin.
It really does, right? Except for no. I would probably put this fine, very fine. There is a little bit of age to the spine. The spine is not rolled, but it's one of those that were pressed with a little white showing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So it may not be a big dog, but it'll be definitely
it'll be a big dog, but it won't be a $60 big dog.
A minor dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking too. I love the write-ups for both the stories in there. So the main story is called The Garden of Death. Linda Danvers loses a date with her current swain, Bob Lewis. An actor named Frankie asks to take his place since his current girlfriend, Marianne Brooks, stood him up while crying over the phone. Supergirl investigates and finds that Marianne's father, a botanist named Albert Brooks, has been charged with the murder of Lucky Coin Lacey.
Hey, who knew, right?
Whose body has been found on the estate grounds. Supergirl finds the bodies of 3 other gangsters on the estates, but she also finds the one witness. Dun, dun, dun. And then this story, so the Zatanna story is called Curse of the Phantom Heckler. Zatanna performs at Midvale Orphanage when suddenly all her magic tricks seem to go awry until she learns she is being contacted by a little boy's ghost asking for help.
So a child dies in this issue. Okay, thank you.
Oh, the child is already dead.
Oh, the child is already dead. There you go. All righty. Yeah, thank you for the heads up on both of those books. Next up, we have Brave and the Bold, number 127, Batman and Wildcat.
Oh, nice. It's a team up you don't see very often.
Alrighty. And then we have the Batman Family, issue number 18. And these are always cool because they are double-sized issues. And at last, in her own series in someone else's book, we have the Huntress.
As it should be.
There you go.
You know, as it's, you know, as we need to learn that there's some characters that just can't hold up, you know, a solo title of their own and are better off in getting them in 7 to 8 page doses of a backup story.
Now, I say something that is actually nonsensical. I say, well, here we got some Jack Kirby goodness, but name the Jack Kirby badness. And this is pretty damn cool. I just love this cover. It is, I mean, this is like it was blessed by the king himself. This is issue number 10. Not number 1, number 2, or anything like that. But one thing Kirby did great was monsters, and one of his best monsters was the demon. And here we go. Yeah, and just look at that condition.
And look at all that Kirby crackle.
Yep. All right, there. All right, that's good stuff. These were the books. I mean, of all the books I've got, I was like, okay, I think Breen is going to appreciate these. Let me see if I can't get them in some sort of order here. Oh, okay. They're actually in order to a certain point. All righty. Next up, we have a book, and this is from DC as well. It's double-sized issue. Supersized, they say. This is called From Beyond the Unknown, and this is issue number 9.
There you go. It's astounding and startling and amazing and fantastic and astonishing and colossal.
And colossal, yes. Here we have issue number 10. This one, by the way, is also prophetic instead of colossal. And then we have issue number 11. There we go. And finally, we have issue number 13. So, yeah, we got some cool sci-fi here, too. I love these. And I'm pretty sure that these would be, this is a reprint title of some of DC's older stories. Marvel did the same, obviously. Yeah, I'm pretty sure DC did. This is Strange Adventures. This is issue number 237.
Yeah, I would say just looking at some of the contributors that are listed on CBR for issue 10 that you're probably correct.
And this is more likely an original because Jeanette Kahn, when she first came in, canceled all the reprint titles. They said it shows weakness, so we got to cancel all the reprints. And then they started to focus on originals. And here is Strange Adventures issue number 233. There we go. All righty. And these are the ones that I was like, okay, I think these are a bit more than just $5. Obviously, I could be wrong in both directions. Like some of the ones that I pit lower than a big dog is a big dog, and some of them that I pit is the big dogs will probably be lower. But I thought these would fit. And we'll start off with All-Star Superman number 1, which if you have not yet read this series, do yourselves a favor, because you're only hurting yourself.
Yeah, it's especially the first 5 or 6. But I mean, the whole series is
series is great. It's great from beginning to last.
It's hopeful Grant Morrison. which you don't necessarily always get. And of course, I mean, the Frank Quitely art is just kick-ass.
Yeah. We're getting a tier list on Thursday, Ahsoka. We're going to finish the Batman tier list. Hopefully on Friday, we'll be able to do one of the Christmas readings. And here is Batman number 429.
A death in the family.
Yeah. Guess who tried to get the entire series and came away with one issue? There you go. And this is, I was straight up targeting Venkman. Obviously, anybody can bid on it. But I got this book definitely with Venkman in mind, because I know he's a Red Sonja fan. He's a Vampirella fan. And he is, in fact, a Jim Valiant fan. And this is the variant cover. It's the Jim Valiant variant cover on this issue. So I was like, okay, if I can get this one, it's issue number 16. So
yeah, Red Sonja Dynamite 16, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and it looks quite a bit like a tarot in a metal bikini, to be honest.
That's what he does, right? This was for a little bit a very important issue, and people still go after it. It's hard to see, but it's embossed, and it's a gravestone, and it's the Amazing Spider-Man number 400. And there we go. I think I caught it. There you go.
Yep, I can see enough of the embossed.
Yeah, I don't know if this is their. I like the fact that they tried to do a gravestone, but to make everything gray. Have you ever seen a gravestone? It's black lettering, guys, so you can see it. But they went lazy on it. But there you go.
Somebody got too cute by half.
Mm-hmm. This actually worked in a different way. I tried to get a full series, and instead of getting issue number 3 and 4, I ended up getting issue number 1 and 2. But I got issue 1 and 2 of Aliens, kids. So
I'll have to look and see which volume. This
is the first, by the way. After all the Dark Horse Presents stuff, and they decided to give this is the I believe this is the first of their series.
Okay, so volume 1, 1988-89. Hold up issue 1 again. Let me take a look at the cover.
See if I'm right about it.
Okay. No, it's not volume 1 unless it's
not volume 1
print. No, let's see here.
Oh, okay, so
that is volume 2, so it's a 4-issue. It's a 4-issue miniseries.
Yep, and I've got the first 2. So a series that I would never probably have never gotten, but I tried for it. Once again, I got 2 issues, but here is Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man 131, Chapter 3 of Kraven's Last Hunt. And here is issue number 132, Chapter 2, or Chapter 6 of Kraven's Last Hunt. Incredible freaking story. Love it. Love it. One of my favorite spin-offs of the X-Men back in the 1980s. They had about a bajillion, but they started with X-Factor. Well, they started with New Mutants and then X-Factor.
Yep.
There you go. X-Factor number 1.
Yeah. And so it was a great premise too with X-Factor, that it was quote unquote the original group getting back together. Mutants were being threatened, and so they come up and create basically a fake company that, from the public side is, they're out to capture mutants, but in fact they're actually there to find mutants and help them in almost like an underground railroad sort of way. So it was really a lot of fun. And I mean, at the time, it was the first time, I think, where, like you'd had kind of, the whole gang back together again.
Next up, we have Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, issue number 100. Once again, not a big celebration issue, just an issue. So I'm wondering, when
Lois killed Lana. Holy cow.
I expected it. It's just one of those things. I think that's a good thing to look into. Here is issue number 100.
Watched Smallville, you know that Lois was jealous of Lana. So
Here's issue number 108. And we have the very first appearance of a Superman icon. Something that appeared in the 1970s. Something that people like myself and LK could enjoy. Something that you would look at and go, the fuck does Superman need with a spaceship or an aircraft? Here's the first appearance of the Supermobile.
Oh, yeah. God, what a great toy that was. That was
I know, right?
I always wanted.
This was actually released as a Hot Wheels car. Batman got the Batmobile. Everybody got their own thing. So Superman got the Supermobile. And, of course, they decided, okay, let's put it in the comic book. And everybody was like, Superman need a Supermobile for. So, but hey, here you go. Now, you did see it used later when he would fly through space and such. So I thought that was all right.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because
he could do that.
Because it showed up in at least one of the cartoons in the 70s or early 80s, you know, because it was along the lines of either, you know, out in space and it was away from the yellow sun, so Superman, you know, was unpowered, or it was, because he was having to take on something that had kryptonite, and the lead shielding of the Supermobile protected Superman and other fun stuff.
Well, this is one of my favorite Superman covers of all time. If I were lining them up, probably the one where he's breaking out of the kryptonite chains or the one where he's just got kryptonite poison would be at the top. But this might actually be top 5. And this is issue number 238. As you can see, it's in really good condition. There you go. I love that cover. That is really cool.
Yeah. So, Eric, I gotta stand up for Superman. He was not being a dick on that cover. It was Lois that was the awful person. She's the one that killed Lana Lang. I mean, come on.
He's just trying to find justice for Lana.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do believe in the last auction, I don't know if I sold it. I think I might have sold it, but I had the first appearance of Shiloh Norman and Mr. Miracle. Here is issue number 17.
Well, they put Samuel L. Jackson on the cover. Who knew?
And here is issue number 18. Whenever I'm trying to get new comics, if I can get a decent price on a Jack Kirby, I will. That's a rule.
Yeah. So now, is that supposed to be Big Barda there in civilian clothes?
Yeah.
Okay. Seems like they kind of toned her down a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe
since you brought it up, a book that has not arrived yet is the very first appearance of Big Barda. That's going to be in this auction as well, unless I look at it and go, nah, slap on the wall. All right, but yeah, I'm getting the first appearance. There are some key issues that just soar. And sometimes you get weird ones. Like as far as Star Wars comics, there's a book out there. It's a Boba Fett cover. Nothing big in the story, but the Boba Fett cover is this yellow thing. He looks cool on it, and this book can run you 60 to 100. But there's also a key issue that just hasn't been recognized. And you can find about 10 to 20 bucks. And I think this is one that really should be I think it's worth $100. I think it's worth $150. I'm not going to put that on this just because I think it's way undervalued. But what I'm holding in my hands right now is Star Wars number 7. Do you know what the significance of this is without looking it up?
Let's see. Not off the top of my head. It's not the Blue Jackrabbit. So
nope. This is, in fact, the very first original Star Wars story in comic book form. And I think that should put this a little bit higher than 10 or 20 bucks. Just saying, don't you think?
It could.
Yeah, I have that first Big Barda issue, says one slate. Okay, maybe I'm valuing it a little high, but I really do think that the first Star Wars story in comics. I mean, think about all the silly firsts that we do get. Oh my gosh, it's Moon Knight's first appearance is obviously worth a bunch of money, but so is his first ongoing series. Why isn't the very first Star Wars ongoing series worth something, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
Howard Chaykin and Roy Thomas.
And here we have issue number 4 of Star Wars.
Oh, nice.
There we go. And we have issue number 17 of Ms. Marvel.
Oh, good era Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, this is the cameo appearance of Mystique. All right. And here we have a book. I will always consider these books awesome. This is GI Combat number 139.
Cool.
Yeah, I just love the war comics. I did not know I just bought this copy. I forgot. Like, I ordered one. We had one in last week's auction. We'll have one in this week's auction. They are 2 different books, but it's Amazing Spider-Man issue number 198.
Oh, another Mysterio. Yeah. You know, Mysterio was one of my favorite villains for Spidey to face, especially because my early recollections were seeing Mysterio in, you know, the early Spider-Man cartoon. And loved that story, and he always, you know, had a certain way of being able to torment Peter, and, you know, with his illusions and getting him all confused and stuff. And I love Mysterio.
That's one thing I like about Far From Home, is because it shows how Mysterio is a badass. A lot of times I don't think they really. A lot of times I really don't think that they shown that in the comics, but the movie was like, oh yeah, okay, I get that now. I get it. Let's see, Superman once again being a dick. My LCS has that comic for 30. I'm in love with Barda, says Jay.
Who isn't?
Yeah.
And
but
I said she was toned down on that cover, because I always saw her as being much taller than.
Oh yeah, she's a 6'5" or taller.
Yeah, and on that cover, she's basically the same height as Scott.
Now, there are a few DC Comics Presents issue number 1, obviously the first appearance of the Teen Titans, that tend to go a little bit higher from the $3 to $5 usual. And this is one of them. This is issue number 41 of DC Comics Presents, where Superman teams up with the Joker.
Wow.
There we go.
And you've got to read that to find out what on earth would drive Superman to have to team up with the Joker.
And there are some incredible covers in comic books. You know, I know, everybody knows. It's one thing that it's what drives us to the book. The writing keeps us there. The art takes us there. And one of the greatest covers has made even the reprint worth money. And the story itself, I'm sure, is fantastic, but the cover is pure iconic goodness, and just so happens to be Eric Breen's favorite.
Did you get an American number 1?
America number 12, sir. No, actually, what I did get was a Fantasy Masterpieces issue number 4. And
that is a good cover.
This is one of the most badass covers ever put to paper. That is, this, whatever is inside doesn't matter, because this graces it. It's the actual book. I didn't put like a Richie Rich in there. This is actually it. But yeah, what a freaking incredible cover that is. There you go. All righty. And keeping on the Thor thing, we've got Grey Gargoyle. This is it. The secret of Thor's identity revealed. We've got Enter the Grey Gargoyle, and look out, Thunder God, because the awesome Absorbing Man is waiting in the wings. This is King Size Special number 3.
Cool.
There we go. And let's see. Oh my gosh, some freaking cool stuff here. What do I show off? I think okay. this one's going to be $20 or $30, but hey, Jack Kirby goodness, right? This is Mr. Miracle, number 3.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. You know what? This is too damn cool, but the other two, one I've never seen in my entire life before, and the other one might actually just go up on the wall. But the next up, we have, what's it say? Against the Man Who Killed Uncle Ben, Spider-Man versus the Burglar. I guess it's they've got a reprint story plus. It is a double-sized issue, and it is The Amazing Spider-Man, number 200. There you go.
Okay. No, they're if nothing else. I mean, that starts to kind of answer one of our questions. Are there? I mean, you know, they're making a big deal there of the 200th, and I think that was probably the case. It wasn't doing like every 25 or every 50. It would be the hundreds. So
yeah, but when did it start is the big question, and I would like to find out, when did it start for the 100, and then when did it start for 50, and then when did it start for 25? Because I remember in the 80s they had a double-sized issue for JLI and the Flash. So okay.
Well, hell, now they do it for number 10 because
I know, right?
The series they're putting out now don't get to 10.
I don't know which one of these is cooler, to tell you the truth. But these are two damn cool issues. I've never had a Golden Age or a Silver Age book. What is the number on this thing? It is way too small to tell.
Number something or other.
Number 3. But anyway, we have Blue Beetle.
Oh, wow.
Look at this. This is really cool.
Blue Beetle looks almost like Nexus on this.
Maybe I can catch it in the camera.
Blue Beetle. Well, no, there's no
see that little scratch right next to it? It looks like number
that
14.
little tiny.
Yeah.
14? Yeah, I think maybe 14.
Or 54 or something. I don't know. But there you go, guys. We got this Blue Beetle. And you may have noticed on the shelf, I've got a couple of statues. I love the character of the Wasp from the 60s. I love the design. And way over here, I have Giant Man, which is not really big. I actually was putting it together, but Giant Man looks so small next to that statue. So I was wondering, do I want to sell this? Do I want to put it in the auction at all? It's Tales to Astonish number 53. It's not the greatest condition, but it's still Tales to Astonish number 53. Here you go. And that to me is just too damn cool. And it's the Porcupine, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think it's the first appearance of Porcupine, though. There you go. And that is that, kids. There you go. All these books are going to be in the auction, and on Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Obviously, I'm going to throw in some of the stuff from auctions past and everything. So please hang out with us. If you found something you like, I'm going to go through these on eBay to make sure that I'm not ripping you or me off. So that should be fun. I'm going for a complete DC Comics Presents, but that first Teen Titans and first Comics He-Man are steep. Yeah, they are. I got mine right on the end there. It was at my comic shop for $100, and I put it on layaway. Right now, I've got a first appearance of Deathstroke on layaway. And then they actually let me put in my box the first appearance of the Unknown Soldier. So I'm very happy about that. Those are going to be wall books for sure, unless somebody goes, hey, I'll pay you so much money for it. But there you go. Was there anything of interest? Let me know in the comments. Let me, if you're watching this secondary, let me know in the comments below. Or LK, what about you?
Let's see. I mean, the top two that come to mind for me definitely was the Supergirl number 3. Let's just say that's in a wanted list, partially because of the Zatanna story in there as well. The Ms. Marvel number 17. I think both of those are just awesome books, and of course, I mean the vintage Marvel Star Wars are also really, really, really great.
Yeah. What about you guys in the chat? What's is there anything specific you're like, oh wow, okay, that's cool? I know if Nerdy Texan was there, he'd be like, oh man, Superman. And I do admit that if I could find some decent bronze or silver age Superman for a decent price, I'll put them in there. Just knowing that Nerdy Texan collects Superman, what can I say? Yeah, but I gotta tell you, of all those, I was very happy to get that Star Wars collection. We don't usually have Star Wars in the auction, so any is well, not any. I don't want modern Marvel. I like modern Marvel, but there's not a lot of confidence with the buyers as far as modern Marvel is concerned, or they already have it. But anything Dark Horse or Marvel, I will try to get. Jay Lucen wants to go for the Supermans as well. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, and just to close it out, so that Blue Beetle is number 54 from March of 1966.
Awesome. I put it on the cart for the cover. I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. Click.
Yeah.
All right, 2 nerdy Texans who collect Superman. He's a thing, I guess. All righty, kids. Just to let this not go way too long, we're over an hour here. I'm going to cut it off. Once again, remember to go on to join us on Saturday for the auction, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Tomorrow, we're going to be finishing the Batman story tier list. And I was talking to everybody about getting together and doing a Christmas comic book reading on Friday. So that would be at 10 o'clock on Friday, but tomorrow would be 9 o'clock. Freebird saying, loved the Supermobile and had it as a kid. So did I. I had the toy in the whole 9 yards. Yeah. So once again, thank you very much for hanging out with us. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.
Night, everybody.
All righty.